He named his daughter after the coin. He bet $1 million in public that it would never fail. Then in just a few days, more than $40 billion disappeared, and one of crypto's most loyal communities watched the whole thing come apart in real time. This is the story of how one of crypto's most confident founders turned belief into a financial cult, and what happened when the belief broke. His name is Do Kwon. Stanford computer science degree, short stints at Apple and Microsoft, and the kind of resume that makes investors lean in before you've even finished the pitch. In 2018, he co-founded Terraform Labs with Daniel Shin, based it in Singapore, and set out to build what he called a new financial system. The product at the center of it was UST, a digital dollar that launched in 2020. Most digital dollars like this stay at $1 because there are real dollars in a bank backing them up. UST didn't have that. Instead, it relied on an automatic balancing act with another coin called Luna. If UST dropped below $1, the system would print more Luna to push it back up. It was only stable because everyone agreed it was. The moment enough people stopped believing, there was nothing underneath to catch it. And that's where Kwon's personality became part of the product. He didn't just sell a coin, he sold certainty. Online, he mocked anyone who questioned UST's design, called their positions irrelevant, and talked like the rules of physics didn't apply to his project. He tweeted, "Your size is not size at a skeptic," wagered $1 million that UST would hold at $1, and posted about it like he was daring the universe to prove him wrong. He named his newborn daughter Luna, after the coin holding the whole thing together. His followers called themselves lunatics, and they meant it as a compliment. Online forums were full of people who had quit their jobs, pulled money out of traditional investments, and gone all in on Terra because Kwon made it sound like the future had already arrived, and the only question was whether you were smart enough to see it. If you said anything negative about the project in the wrong corner of the internet, you'd hear about it fast. Kwon had built more than a token. He'd built a tribe, and the tribe defended the faith. Then Terraform added the thing that turned faith into frenzy, a savings-like platform called Anchor, where you could deposit UST and earn roughly 19.5% a year. A normal bank account at the time was paying maybe 0.5%. Hundreds of thousands of people around the world parked money in Anchor because it looked like a place where cash could grow at 40 times the rate of a savings account wrapped in a product that was marketed as safe. There had already been a warning that the safety was an illusion. In May 2021, UST briefly dropped below $1, the one thing it was supposed to never do. It came back, but not on its own. The SEC later alleged that Jump Trading, a major Chicago firm, quietly stepped in and bought over $20 million worth of UST to push it back. In return, Terraform let them buy Luna at 40 cents when it was trading at $90. Jump made over $1.28 billion from that deal. Meanwhile, Kwon went on Twitter and framed the recovery as proof that the system worked by itself. There's a big difference between the design held up and somebody showed up with cash while nobody was looking. None of that slowed the hype. To make things look even sturdier, the Luna Foundation Guard built a reserve of about 80,000 Bitcoin. UST supply kept growing. Kwon kept posting. And the lunatics kept believing because every month the numbers in Anchor kept going up, and the founder kept acting like doubt was a character flaw. Then, May 2022 arrived. Two big investors pulled $375 million out of Anchor in a matter of hours, right as the broader crypto market was already under stress. UST dropped below $1, and that tiny crack was enough to scare everyone who was only there because they believed it would always be worth $1. The system tried to fix itself by printing more Luna to buy UST back up. But the more Luna it printed, the less each Luna was worth. And the less Luna was worth, the less anyone trusted UST. And the less they trusted UST, the more people ran for the exit. The thing that was supposed to save the system was destroying it. Between May 9th and May 12th, it came apart in public. UST fell to 23 cents, a digital dollar worth less than a quarter. Luna crashed from above $80 to essentially zero. Terra's entire network had to be shut down twice. The 80,000 Bitcoin reserve was thrown in to defend UST. By May 16th, nearly all of it was gone, with just 313 left. 80,000 Bitcoin, and the fire still won. The crash triggered a chain reaction. Celsius froze withdrawals, Three Arrows Capital collapsed, and the crypto market slid into a downturn that lasted over a year. More than $40 billion evaporated. On the Terra Luna subreddit, moderators pinned the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number at the top of the page. One user wrote, "I lost over $450,000. I cannot pay the bank. I will lose my home." Another wrote that they should have cashed out when Luna was at $100, but held on hoping to afford a down payment on a house for their family. In Taiwan, a 29-year-old man who had put $2 million into Luna and watched it drop to $1,000 was found dead outside his apartment building. In South Korea, a family of three, a father, mother, and their 10-year-old daughter, went missing after the crash. Police recovered their car from the sea nearly a month later. Their search history included Luna coin and ways to make an extreme choice. The father had already been struggling. His computer shop had closed a year earlier, and the family's credit card debt had climbed above $80,000. In the days after, someone broke into the apartment complex where Kwon's wife lived in Seoul and rang her door looking for him. She had to request police protection. The lunatics who had defended him online went quiet. The man who had tweeted through every controversy, every doubt, every attack, suddenly had nothing to say. When he finally broke his silence days later, he said he was heartbroken. The people who had lost everything found that word hard to swallow. The SEC zeroed in on alleged misrepresentations, how stable UST really was, whether it was actually being used in real-world payments through a Korean app called Chai, and whether that 2021 recovery had been publicly framed in a misleading way. South Korean authorities opened criminal probes. In September 2022, Interpol issued a red notice. Kwon responded by saying he was not on the run and was making no effort to hide. 6 months later, he was hiding. March 23, 2023, Podgorica Airport, Montenegro. Authorities detained Do Kwon and Terraform's former CFO Han Chang-jun while they were trying to board a flight using forged Costa Rican documents. They also had other travel papers on them. That same day, the U.S. unsealed an 8-count criminal indictment. Montenegro's interior minister announced online that the most wanted fugitive in the world of cryptocurrency had been arrested. Kwon and Han were convicted for document forgery and got 4 months. Terraform Labs filed for bankruptcy in January 2024. In April, a New York jury found Terraform and Kwon liable for securities fraud. By July, a federal judge ordered more than $4.5 billion in penalties. The founder who tweeted that he didn't debate the poor ended up debating a federal judge. The token he named his daughter after went to zero, and the system that was supposed to be unstoppable had to be shut down twice just to stop the bleeding. Enjoyed this story? Leave a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Now you know.